Once upon a time, when the earth was still young and the animals lived together in harmony, there was a magical tree that gave birth to a boy. All of the animals gathered around the boy and agreed to raise him. They called him Otto. Otto grew up real fast, and the animals taught him how to wrestle. He got really good at it too, working his way up from the anteater, to the penguin, to the pterosaur. But one day, Otto casually mentioned to the humanity that he'd like to wrestle the evil King Capybara, just for fun. Not only was the humanity really stupid, but he was also a spy for the evil king. As soon as Otto left, the humanity called up the evil King Capybara and told him that Otto was jonesing to fight for the evil crown. The evil king was really scared of Otto, so he thought of a way to get rid of him. The evil king invited Otto to dinner to have some lobster, who had just drowned in the hot springs. During dinner, the evil king told Otto about a vicious bear who lived high up in the mountains that nobody could defeat. The evil king ordered Otto to wrestle the bear and to bring back its head as proof of his victory. Reluctantly, Otto agreed with the king's orders. But the evil king was so evil that he called the bear and told him that Otto was coming, and even bribed the bear to kill Otto. So, Otto headed up the mountain. When the bear spotted him on the trail, the bear thought of a plan to defeat Otto. So, he hid behind a rock. And once Otto reached the cave, the bear leapt out from behind the rock and tackled Otto. They wrestled for almost a year straight, taking only one break for tea because the bear was British. Otto eventually won the fight. He was just about to take the bear's head when he looked into the bear's soft, innocent eyes. He just couldn't bring himself to do it. So the bear came clean with the evil king's plan. Otto was so moved by the bear's honesty that he and the bear became great friends. Together they went to the village to get back at the evil king. But using a match, a belt, and a roll of Dixieland tinfoil, the king managed to escape. But Otto and the bear swore they'd get back at the evil king at some point in the story. So a few weeks later, Otto and the bear moved into a real hip apartment on Cleveland's Upper East Side. They had a great time together. Otto worked most of the week as a milkman, while the bear stayed at home and did all the housekeeping, because in those days bears were discriminated against and couldn't get good jobs, which is really sad when you think about it. Anyway, one day, the bear helped Otto with his taxes, because bears are really good with taxes. Then they went to the post office to drop off the forms, but the post office was being robbed. Otto quickly thought up a plan to defeat the robbers, so the bear hid behind a rock, and Otto went to McGillicuddy's drive-thru and ordered a bulging triple patty Borgia burger with Borgia-style mushrooms all settled on the whole wheat bread and put it outside the post office door. The rich but affordable scent drifted into the post office and lured the robbers out. As soon as they stepped outside, the bear leapt out from behind the rock and gobbled the robbers right up. The robbers stayed inside the bear's belly for 2 days until they passed through the bear's system. Then afterwards, the police took them right to jail. The police were so impressed by Otto and the bear that they recommended it to the president. This was just in time for the Depression too, so Otto and the bear got a job doing stuff for FDR's New Deal. They traveled all over the U.S. building dams, bridges, horses, jazz pits, and even wrangled some communists. But the evil King Capybara read about their good fortune, and he was so mad. He bribed the Germans to invade Otto and the bear's apartment. But when they invaded, Otto and the bear flanked the Germans on both fronts, forcing them to surrender. When the king found out the next day, he was so mad, he made a pact with Reagan and the devil to help him defeat Otto and the bear. By pulling together all their evil energy, they summoned the segregation monster from the depths of hell. Late at night the next day, around 2-ish, the devil waited in the getaway car, while Reagan and the segregation monster broke into Otto and the bear's hip Upper East Side apartment. Luckily, Otto and the bear were up late crocheting sweaters for each other and heard the break-in. Otto quickly came up with a plan, so the bear hid behind a rock, and Otto grabbed his .45, and once Reagan and the segregation monster stepped inside, the bear leapt out from behind the rock and devoured the segregation monster. Then Otto shot Reagan in the chest. When the evil king read about the next day, he was so mad. Then he came up with an evil, wretched plan. He called up the zoo and told them that a bear was living in a real hip apartment on Cleveland's Upper East Side. So the zookeepers went to the apartment with the evil king, broke inside, and threw a net over the bear. Otto begged them to let the bear go, but they wouldn't listen. So Otto gave the zookeepers $20, and they let the bear go, and took the evil King Capybara instead. We were sold to the Chinese, and later eaten. And so Otto and the bear lived happily ever after. The